Alright, let's play a game. You wake up tomorrow morning, roll over to check the time, and wait, your phone screen is blank. No clock. Weird. You look at your watch, frozen. The microwave, the wall clock, even Big Ben if you happen to live in London. Every single clock in the world has just stopped. At first, you think it's a glitch. Maybe a power outage? Maybe your watch just needs a new battery? But then you step outside, and that's when it hits you. The news is in chaos. Planes aren't taking off. The stock market is frozen. Even your coffee shop doesn't know when to open. Welcome to a world where time, at least as we measure it, has just disappeared. Now, before we panic, let's break this down scientifically. What does it actually mean for all the world's clocks to stop? Are we talking about just mechanical and digital clocks? Or are we saying time itself has come to a standstill? Because those are very different problems. If it's just the devices we use to measure time, then we're in for a logistical nightmare, but life will go on. If, however, time itself has stopped, well, let's just say we won't be having this conversation because the universe as we know it would collapse instantly. But let's be reasonable. We'll assume only the clocks have stopped, not time itself. What happens next? First, global coordination breaks down immediately. Every major system that relies on synchronized time goes haywire. GPS? Useless. Your phone's navigation system works by calculating tiny differences in time signals sent from satellites. No time, no GPS. So good luck finding your way to work, if work is even happening. And speaking of work, the stock market is toast. Trading happens at breakneck speeds, measured down to the millisecond. Without timestamps, nobody can verify when a trade happened, which means nobody trusts anything, and the entire financial system freezes. So if you were planning to check your investments, don't bother. They don't exist anymore. Then there's air travel. You know how pilots say, "We'll be landing at 5:37 p.m. local time?" Yeah, not anymore. Airlines rely on time synchronization to schedule takeoffs, landings, fuel calculations, everything. Without it, planes have no idea when or where they should be. And since nobody wants two jets guessing their way across the sky at 600 miles per hour, flights are grounded. Hope you weren't planning that vacation. Now daily life gets weird. You don't know when to wake up, eat lunch, or go to bed. You can't tell if your Zoom meeting is about to start, so you either show up way too early like a lunatic or way too late like a psychopath. Eventually, people just give up on scheduled events entirely. Social gatherings become a guessing game. Hey, let's meet when the sun is about here in the sky. It's like living in the medieval ages, except worse because we used to know exactly what time it was. Now we just don't. But humans are adaptable. Eventually, we'd find workarounds. We'd start using the sun's position again, like our ancestors did. Sundials would make a comeback. We'd measure time in more organic ways, how long it takes for a candle to burn down, or how many pages we can read before getting distracted. That might sound charming, but here's the real problem. Science and technology are in serious trouble. Without precise timekeeping, things like the internet, power grids, and even scientific experiments start breaking down. The entire internet runs on coordinated timestamps. Websites, data transfers, even sending a simple text message depends on synchronized clocks to keep things in order. Without that, welcome to the world's most frustrating game of who sent this email first? Then there's physics. Scientists rely on atomic clocks, absurdly precise timekeeping devices, to run experiments, calibrate instruments, and even define fundamental measurements. Without accurate time, things like GPS, particle accelerators, and even weather prediction become wildly inaccurate. And let's talk about space. Space agencies track satellites using precise time signals. If those go offline, satellites drift out of sync, and suddenly, Earth's entire communication network is on life support. Your internet gets worse, your TV glitches out, and if things get bad enough, we even lose the ability to predict the weather properly. So say hello to surprise hurricanes. But here's the real kicker: biological time is still running. Our bodies don't care that clock stopped. Your circadian rhythm still ticks along, driven by sunlight, hormones, and sleep cycles. You still get hungry, you still get tired. But without clocks, we start losing our sense of time duration. A 10-minute nap feels like an hour. A 2-hour meeting feels like forever, which honestly it already does. Over time, people might even redefine how we measure time. Instead of 10 a.m., we might say mid-morning. Instead of a 40-minute workout, we'd exercise for as long as it takes to sweat a lot. It's timekeeping, but vague. So, would society collapse if all clocks stopped? Not entirely, but things would get chaotic fast. Eventually, we'd create new ways to track time, whether through astronomy, biological markers, or even something as simple as when the birds start singing in the morning. It wouldn't be as precise as atomic clocks, but humanity would adapt, because that's what we do. And maybe, just maybe, without the constant pressure of knowing exactly what time it is, we'd slow down a little. Spend less time staring at our watches, and more time actually living. Until, of course, someone invents a new clock, and the cycle begins all over again. If you enjoyed this wild thought experiment, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into absurd science. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.